All right, let's see what I can get done today. Set that there. Bring this here. Make sure that's set up right. Make sure I don't, oh, that's what I was going to say. Make sure I don't kick the table. Let's see. Sweet mother. Hey, Tom's here. What's going on? Oh no, camera's all out of whack. Let me see if I can fix that. Let me hit a button or two. See what happens. Uh-huh. That's going to flip it back to me. Let's see what happens here. You guys might just have to deal with me being, yep, you're just going to have to deal with me looking weird. Makes me look taller. Stretches. I put the thinning lens on it. All right, let me get to these comments. Sorry, guys. Whoa, too many of you. What is going on, everybody? Let me grab my... No, don't. It's cool. Sorry, Kyle. Too late. William S., what's going on? Alfred, Jonathan Webb, Carter Muchmore, Tom, Deesta Salad, I don't know, 6787. What's up, man? 5x5, yeah, absolutely. What's going on? How's the electrical building in Camden? Is it a loss? Yeah. Hey, yeah, I didn't recognize your name there, so it might have been a little while since you tuned in, but yeah, we're out of the building there in Camden. Long story short, it had some repairs that needed to be done. We had a good relationship with our landlord, but he was very hands-off, so he didn't want to invest into the repairs, and the straw that broke the camel's back was we were hosting John Lovell down here, and a raccoon fell from the ceiling while he was giving a lecture in the classroom. So I said, you know what, before somebody ends up with rabies, we're going to go ahead and just start teaching stuff out at the range. Or here in the team room, right? Adam Hall, what's going on, man? Gary Farron, good to see you guys. What is going on, everybody? Let me do a quick... Oh, nope, not that. Let me do a quick check right here. I'm going to pause that. Quick check right here. Before I make an announcement, I got to see if anything else is ready. All right, not ready. Cool. That's okay. I can still make an announcement. What is going on? The raccoon was a good visual. Yeah, dude. It was something to say the least. What's up, Andy? Francisco, what's going on? It is frozen down here, man. Like we got the ice, we got the snow. We got the snow, then we got the ice, then we got a little bit more snow. So it's made like a nice sandwich to just never let the ice melt. So I was out. Heather and I have put 4 hours into just cracking the ice down in our driveway so we can get some cars out of there and stuff like that. It's been ridiculous. Did Tim eat the raccoon? You know what? I did. We trapped the raccoon. And then I did ask Tim to release it, and I never heard anything else. So, charge premium for the raccoon class. Why am I saying raccoon? Raccoon class. I swear, I've never said raccoon in my life. I don't know what's going on there. Dog food. It was a can of cat food actually that we used to get him in the trap. Just because Shelton had it lying around. Shelton always carries just cans of cat food with him in case he wants to pick up another stray or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Fighting racking. But yeah, so we're dealing with that. Anyway, hey, I'm gonna make that announcement. So I know that a lot of you guys have been asking about it, and let me start with this. We are slowly but surely working through the kinks on the website. So now if you go to Fighting Pistol and you scroll to the bottom where it says gear list and like full description, those things are the way it's supposed to be now. And in fact, when you go down to that equipment list, it is in a nice like bulleted way. It's structured. It's formatted correctly. So with that being said, right now these are not on the website because we're having some issues getting products added to it. At the moment, the guys are working on it. I was looking for an email to see if they update it. Anyway, so what we do have though is, wait, back to the backside. People have been asking about it, the just old school tactical response hoodies with the logo on the front, things like that, right? So these just came in the other day, and we have a very limited supply. If you want a hoodie, we have 5 mediums, 10 larges, extra larges, and 2Xs, and then 5 3Xs. So if you're a medium or a 3X, you should get on it. And the way this is going to work until they're up on the website, just send us an email. If you want to order a hoodie, it's going to be $40 for the hoodie, $9.50 for the shipping, and that's that. So call it $50 shipping and everything. You can send an email saying you want the hoodie, what size you want, because we only did black. So anyway, if you're interested, we can send you an invoice after that, and we'll have it on your way, like ready to go. Now, with all the snow and ice down here, I don't know how mail is running or anything like that, but we have them available. I'll make a post up on the alumni page as well, but I wanted to give you guys a shot at it first, the people who tune in every week for the live stream to listen to me ramble, so on and so forth. Email address is info, I-N-F-O, @tacticalresponse.com. That'll hit me. It'll hit Heather. So that means, did I say extra large? Yes, we have 10 extra larges available. Like I said, we did a small run. So mediums and 3Xs only have 5 each. Everything in between has 10. Hell yeah. Nice. Poor little guy wrapped in a shower curtain in a shallow grave. Yeah. It could still, William's right, it could still be locked up at Tim's house. Good news about the website. I'd love to see a better calendar view. Yes, absolutely. That's on the short list of things to get done for sure. So yeah, I mean, just a step at a time, right? How do you eat an elephant? Yada, yada, yada. Let's see. What else, guys? Yeah, so the hoodies are the big news. I don't really have, as usual, don't really have a whole lot. Actually, no, I take that back. I did have something I wanted to talk about. Who's locked up at Tim's house? Definitely a raccoon. Definitely at least one raccoon, possibly more. It's honestly becoming an incident. So here's what I thought would be fun, because I got a phone call from Andy. Did I talk about this on the last live stream? I don't think I did. I know we missed the last week, and I can't remember if the one before that I talked about this or not. But I was talking to Andy, and I was telling him, I was running some questions by him and stuff like that. And I'll talk about what Andy and I talked about. But I thought this might be cool. You guys, if you have something that you'd like me to get, like an answer from Andy, I'll reach out to him and ask him if he's cool with like answering some common alumni questions and stuff like that. So if you guys have anything like that, I'll collect the questions. I'll get all the answers by the next live stream, hopefully, unless I can't get in touch with Andy or something like that. But yeah, I think that'd be fun. Andy is just such a wealth of knowledge, and I don't utilize it enough. It's one of those things, like, not to get too sappy about it, but I can't tell you how many questions have come up, like, since James has passed, that I wish I could ask him about now, particularly when it comes to, like, not only like the history of how, this got built, or just like his journey and training and stuff like that. But it's just like, I never thought of those questions. They all came up after, sporadically over the last few years. So I'd love to get some insight from you guys and maybe compile it into a list, right? Uh-oh. I'm not seeing any comments rolling through. Is it still working? Let me see. Are people still here watching? Got got a couple of emails. Yep. Let's see. What's going on? Unless you guys are all typing up questions for Andy. Did this stop? Did I pause this? Let's see. Can I click live? Am I still live? All right. Yeah, I'm still live. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry. No pressure, guys. You don't have to be quick. Nice. Dude, I'm gonna have to make another cup of coffee. I can already tell. Whoa. Listening while driving. Oh, what's going on? Hello, my friend. Hey, Scott. If you're just tuning in, I know you probably already have one, but just so you guys know, we do have these back in stock. You have to send an email to info@tacticalresponse with what size you want. It's going to be $40 for the hoodie, $9.50 for the shipping, so on and so forth. So anyway, English only in the cat. Yeah. In the chat. I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be. So anyway, you may need another one, right? You need your backup hoodie. So yeah, man, you're not the only one. So sometimes what can help with that. So Austin, sorry, we're using your real name. Sorry about that. You know, Uncle Tacticus wants to talking about the notifications. Sometimes if you unsubscribe and then resubscribe, like re-hit the bell notification, things like that, it can reset that stuff. You know how YouTube do. 1 second. We're selling hoodies to raise money to rescue the raccoons at Tim's house. Yeah. I broke a slide stop spring in my Glock 19 today at the range. Went to reload and the slide didn't close on a fresh mag. Got it going and finished the drill. Hell yeah. That's awesome, Jonathan. Excellent. Very cool. So here's some interesting things that I talked with Andy about a little bit. It's for the raccoon puppies, people. Get on it. Yeah. So I was talking to Andy, and it's one of those things where I was like, hey, you know, this was something that popped up on the alumni group. You know, there's this video of this competition lady, yada, 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 you know, the slide lock. You know, she ends up having to rack the slide, so on and so forth. And Andy, this was his opinion on it. Andy had a pretty good, you know, his whole thing. His whole thing was reloading the gun is a secondary, how did he describe it? Shit, it's been 2 weeks, I can't remember now. Is a secondary problem or secondary priority, right? So he's talking about how he goes on to say, like, you know, most modern guns you have anywhere, you know, if you're doing a wheel gun, 5 to 17 rounds, right? Like that, getting all of those rounds out or as many of those rounds out as you need is the priority. That's your first problem. And if you have to reload, like, you know, something else is going wrong. And he's like, I don't even care how people reload their guns anymore. I just want them to get it loaded as quickly as they can, so on and so forth, right? So, you know, he was like, I don't care about the slide lock stuff anymore. I shouldn't put words in his mouth. That was the impression I got. So, but he did say, I don't care how people reload their guns. So I thought that was an interesting take on it, right? Task versus priority, so on and so forth. So anyway, very cool. Appreciate Andy for that. Now the the other thing that we talked about, you know, I asked him. I said, "Hey, what is your opinion on competition stuff? Right? Like, what's the balance there? When is it a positive thing? When is it a detriment? So on and so forth." And he said that for most of us, or for people who are beginning their journey, he said that he would master the gunfighting skills first, like have the automaticity on those important things. But then after that, he said that he would go to a competition as often as he could. You know, one every quarter, or something like that. At first he said once a month. Like if you have somewhere local that's doing a shoot, he said he would go to at least once a month, but he would only go until he was a B rank shooter. He said anytime that you start pushing above B rank, you have to start focusing on making skills for the game automated, and then you start to become a detriment to your gunfighting skills. So I thought that was, again, an interesting take on it. And I appreciated that because, we talked a whole lot in one of these live streams about like, where is, like, someone give me like a hard line, like how much training do I have to do before Hick's law isn't a problem, or quote unquote isn't a problem, right? And Andy was like, yep, here's my hard line. Go to competitions till you're a B rank shooter. And then after that, you become less of a gunfighter, or you become worse of a gunfighter to become a better competition shooter. So that's very cool. I thought that was an excellent take on it. Good. I talked a long time. Let me go through some of these comments. That's what I did, and now I get them. They also changed my schedule, so now I commute home while you're streaming. Dude, you should be listening to something more entertaining when you're on the road. If you're reloading in the fight, situation is dire. Yep, absolutely. Willie Everett, good evening. Hello, sir. Normally get it 30-minute prior and then promptly forget. Same here, man. Are we the same person? Yeah. Task versus priority. All guns should be Glocks. All Glocks should be 9mm, and all Glock 9mm should be Gen 6's 2026 version. Dude, I haven't had a chance to mess with them that much. Though if you guys follow the Instagram and stuff like that, I was like, man, we haven't posted on social media in a while. So I was like, what's something to just like drum up some interest? And I found that short from James doing that stippling video. And so, yeah, I just, whenever I saw that immediately gave me flashbacks to it. Cause I'm pretty sure HireX, you commented that on that Instagram post. Yeah. Hopefully you're moving while you reload. Yeah, that's the movement is such a big deal, man. Like we had some movement can save your life, can absolutely save your life. And we did have a competition person recently come through, and the movement was a big deal for them because they were they're used to moving with the gun, but it's moving and shooting are so like hard, stop, separated kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, I mean, we got to be doing that. I'm going to pick up a 19 Gen 6 Blue Label once the local shop gets some. Yep. Holy crap, that was a real SAT dollar word, Joey. You've been SAT dollar word. Okay. You've been hitting the books again, eh? No, apparently not, because I didn't know what you meant. I'd love to hear Andy elaborate on old stages that were set up to actually be practical and make you think. So Dylan's talking about that. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I talked to him a little bit about that again. Shoot, I asked him specifically because I was like, I want to take the story back to the live stream. But I asked him about, hey, like you told me this story one time about this competition getting formed or this league getting formed and yada, yada, yada. And yeah, I can't remember the story about it. So pointless. I wasted your time. You're welcome. I've got a couple of buddies who are shooters that say they are really liking the Gen 6. Dude, I mean, I have no doubt that the Gen 6 is going to be a good, solid gun, I'm very excited to get my hands on it, to say the least. Is that code for thumbs up? Yes, yeah. When HireX says hit the broken slide release, guys. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no, I mean, I want to get my hands on it. I want to see what it does. How much better is it than the other ones? I don't know. That's to be determined, right? It's like, not talking bad on your buddies or anything like that, but how much of like really liking the Gen 6 is the fact that it's new, So on and so forth, you know, because especially if they dropped money on it, if they dropped any money, now we have like, you know, some what's the term for that? Dylan probably knows, you know, where you're invested in something so it can't be bad. But yeah. Let's see, hit that. Yep, already talked about it. My splits are consistently 0.18, 0.20. If I want to get my bill drill to grandmaster level, I need to be shooting 0.16s or so. To shoot like that, you have to abandon the fundamentals or at least change them. And those 0.18s, 20s are faster than I can process each shot or the sights. Yeah, think about that. Chasing 0.02 of a second per shot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And that's exactly what Andy is getting at. Yeah, so speaking of that competition lady who came through class, right? So, of course, it was a small class. We had a lot of time to shoot afterwards. So we were doing some skill-based stuff. And when she was shooting, she was like burning it down when we were doing this skill-based stuff. And yeah, I mean, there was plenty of times where she was like, oh, yeah, no, I just, you know, just put it up there and mash the trigger and try to keep it all in, you know, which is not necessarily gunfighting skill, right? That's I'm trying to be better than my friends and colleagues, so I can have a little bit of bragging rights here and there. There's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I love being better than my friends at stuff. I'm naturally competitive. If Shelton gets better than me at anything, I immediately feel the need to practice it and get better than him. So, like, I'm here for it. But not necessarily the split times isn't necessarily the goal of gunfighting. Not to say they don't help. Again, there's that balance. I've talked about it 100 times. I'm not going to beat you guys over the head with it. Wondered that too. Yeah, I was thinking we racked the slide around here. Absolutely. New Holosun optics with laser 2 at SHOT Show. Very cool. I wonder. Okay, I mean, again, another thing that I'd like to see in action. Like when you say, I should get on YouTube and actually do research. It's kind of knowing the gear is kind of part of my job, huh? Yeah, because if you guys couldn't tell, we didn't go to SHOT Show this year. Yeah, I'd be curious. Like, what does it like? Is it just a laser that is always on? Is there a duber for turning it on and stuff like that? Going back to many of the old masters, they talk about programming skills to the point of reflex, automaticity. So maybe you could spend that time training your loads, clearances, and other skills. Slaved to the optic. Okay. Okay, very cool. Viz and IR. Going back to many of the old masters, already talked about that. Yep. So maybe you could spend that time training your loads, clearances, and other skills. Yep. Andy said he had a blinding flash of the obvious. Competition shooters are concerned with the aggregate of all the rounds as opposed to each individual rounds. Yep. Yeah, so we'll be at the NRA show. That'll definitely be a chance to get some hands-on with some of that stuff that was announced at SHOT. Hopefully, that'll be cool to pick some of that stuff up. Yeah, you know, how did whatever happened to their optic with that everybody was freaking about, 3 years ago now, with the thermal and stuff like that. I feel like I haven't heard anything about that since that show. And so I guess I bring it up because I'm like, is this going to turn into that kind of thing? Not only do you need to be able to think about each shot, who is going to stand there and get shot 6 times in 2 seconds? People move. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah. When we're doing shooting on the move, that's why I'm so adamant when I'm teaching people the shooting on the move stuff, especially when it comes to the serpentine, because when we do the serpentine drill and like fighting pistol or fighting rifle, you know, we're going through typically about 2 magazines, maybe 2.5, things like that. So you're shooting for a while, you're moving for a little bit, and I'm so adamant about them keeping not. I used to say keep your head up. So this is what would happen. Like if you guys haven't had a fighting pistol class with me in a while, here's the deal. This is how I teach the shooting on the move stuff. So I'm talking to him about it. I'm like, hey, like we need to keep our focus. We need to keep our bad guy, our eyes on the bad guy. So if that means I'm with my iron sights, then you know my concentration is on the front sight. Yada yada yada. But as soon as I have to top off my gun or fix a malfunction, as soon as it comes back, my eyes just stay right where they were at. So now I have shifted my focus to the bad guy. And what I used to tell people is keep your head up, keep your head up, because what would happen is they'd bring it back here, they'd stare at the gun, and I'd say, hey, get your head up, and they'd go like that and just eyeball their gun from here. So anyway, so adamant about it because one of the things I bring up is, hey, whenever we start shooting at people, they don't typically stand there. You know, like most people, when they start getting shot at, are going to move. And if you take your eyes off of them to do anything else, you're going to lose track of them. It restarts the, since Dylan is here, the OODA stuff and so on and so forth, right? You have to find them and then PID, yada, 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 right? So just keep your eyes on them, that kind of stuff. The problem I personally have is that we, people who seriously train, are learning lessons that have already been learned. Go read a book. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. If you guys haven't read like the Newhall Massacre, the book over that, I did that for you, Dylan. If you haven't read the book over the Newhall Massacre, it's very interesting to see when was that? Dylan probably knows, or I could Google it. What was in the 60s or something like that? There's lessons from there. Apologies, that's Amaya Sugar. There's lessons from that are still like applicable. There's that SAT word for you. Today, you know, 70s. Okay, excellent. Okay. So yeah, no, absolutely. It all goes in cycles, man. Let's see. Change comments from top to all. Lewis is in the chat. Student from top. Dude, what's going on here? I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. What does it say? Remember to guard your privacy. Students of violence. There we go. Oh shit. I don't know how to send you an invite, Lewis. Let's see. I'll try to figure it out. Let me get through some of these comments. Not a big fan of lasers, but it looks cool. The new arrow looks like Comp M5. Dude, I forgot to shoot Sam's arrow while he was here. Lewis Arbuck rejected the standard response of shooting pairs and failure drills because people move and the target area is always changing. Yep. Excellent. Excellent. Inside waistband, holster of choice, always Green Force and NSR. Anything new? Yeah, I mean, Green Force and NSR, tough to go wrong, hard to go wrong with that. Though I have been rocking just a Blackhawk holster for a little while now. Because my flashlight broke and I still haven't replaced it for my gun. So, physics on Earth says an object that obeys gravity will fall 7.6 inches in 0.2 seconds. Task Force Response alumnus had problem with that when first round went through bridge of nose and body fell. Damn. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? NSR outside the waistband is great, of course. Tenacore, very satisfied. That's Austin, and he just got done rocking a 2011 operator driver's course or something like that. So you know when it comes to the holsters, he knows what he's talking about. All right, how do I send? I don't even know how to do this, man. I probably have to do it from the media phone. I'm sorry, Lewis. In fact, it's probably safer for you and me both, since you said you got the bourbon in you. Excuse me. Is NSR still around? The reviews on Google are wild. They're still around, as far as I'm aware. It is definitely one of those things. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because normally I do. If you do try to order anything from NSR, they have very, very long ship times. So like, just be aware of that. I believe their quick ship options move quicker, of course. But even those, I don't know. I could be wrong. But even those are taking a little while still. So just be aware of that. You know, if you don't want to sit around and wait for 6 months for a holster or anything like that, I get it. Absolutely wouldn't want to either. So, but if you want an NSR holster, if you want a really good Kydex holster made by an alumni, can't go wrong with it. Same thing for Green Force Tactical, though. They're all they're all alumni as well. What's going on, Joey Sandcaus? Borrowed a 2011 with an LAS concealment holster. The holster was just all right. Okay, never mind. He doesn't know what he's talking about with the holsters. Leave him alone. Yeah, stick with the Green Force Tactical. You can't go wrong with that. You know, there's too many options now. We are spoiled by Amazon Prime. Jaeger said he ordered a holster in the 90s that took forever to come in because that stuff came when it came. Yeah, we are a little bit spoiled by it, man. I mean, when you look at shipping now and you see that it's going to take like 3 to 5 business days, it's just like, what the hell? What the fuck is this? Yep. The Burkett, is that how you pronounce it? I've never tried it out or anything like that, but I've heard good things. Feel like buying a t-shirt press and making my own holster sometimes. Hey man, everyone starts somewhere. Make it happen. Clip draw holster for the win. Are you rocking a clip draw, Lewis? I know Jay was for a while. What's up, Joey? Not much, Kyle. How are you, sir? Love the Burkett. My son ordered Green Force Tactical and it was custom made and shipped the same day. That's awesome. No, it's very cool. Excellent. Glad to hear that. There you go. Whoever was asking about holsters, if you're wanting to do, you know, alumni owned stuff. Though Dylan, I know I've seen Dylan's. Dylan, is that JM Custom the one that you have brought down to class a few times? Because that looks super comfortable for appendix. Foghouse Firearms and McMinnville makes some good holsters. Excellent. TXC sidecar that I've had since 2019, still going strong. Excellent. Yes, the JM. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a good holster as well. Yeah. Let's see. All right, Dylan makes it look like a good holster. Bought a rather decent outside the waistband holster for my wife, 48 on the Jungle website. On the Jungle website. Uh-oh, William. I'm not 100% what that is. Is that... I don't know. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. Let's see. Thinking about clip for Bodyguard 2.0. Oh, Amazon. Just all over the head, man. Let's see, but think the Uncle Mike's might be best. Discontinued model, trying to get Justin to make a better one. Yeah. Okay, dude. Have you got to mess with the Bodyguard 2.0 much? I think we talked a little bit about that when you passed through, but I mean, I liked shooting that. It's one of the few small guns that I've shot and not hated every second of it. So I thought it was pretty cool. JM makes that holster for the 48, but it's length of a Glock 34, so it doesn't flip over your belt. Perfect. Nice. All right, guys. We can talk about holsters all day, or you can continue to try to give me, again, if you don't, but just as a reminder, and it's funny that Lewis is in here because he's wanting to talk to Andy as well. Lewis, I promise I didn't steal this idea from you. I had this idea 2 weeks ago. I got a phone call from Andy, but asking for questions from them to pass on to Andy, kind of thing. So yeah, if you guys have anything like that, don't forget Also need to interrogate Andy. I mean, when did we do Jaegerfest? That's been going on 2 years now. I might be able to convince Andy to come back down sometime or something like that. We'll have to see how it goes. What could get Andy down here? He brought up wanting to take his protege through the instructor course. Where can I buy Andy's music? That's a good question. Oh, he'll love that. I should probably be saving some of these somehow. Oh, that's funny. All right. Got it. Excellent. Lewis says he'll sell you a CD. Dude, we used to have them. We used to have a bunch of them. I'm also trying to figure out why and when Jaeger started and stopped with Sewell. Yeah. Excellent. Good point. Oh, shoot. Here was something that Dylan, you brought up. And this is one of the questions I asked him from all those live streams ago. Was you asked, when did James start teaching the mindset stuff? And I think in that live stream where we were talking about it, I think it kind of fell to like, when did he start pushing it as heavy? When did we start doing the mindset lecture and stuff like that? And so I reached out to Andy, or actually Andy called me that day, but I asked him while I was on the phone with him. I said, hey, like, do you know when we started doing the mindset lecture on like day 2 of Pistol? Like, is that something that that James got from you, or is that something that like James got from somewhere else? Do you know where it started? And he said, I didn't know if it started in like the ops day or if that was like a tactical response only. And he said, no, James was doing that as soon as he came on to ops. That's something that he brought with him. And so he's like, did he get it from me before he started working from me? He could have. And he's like, and then I got it from somebody else, of course, brought up Masad Ayub and stuff like that. So anyway, just James, at the very least, was doing the mindset lecture back when he was working for ops. So, sometime in the 90s. When was Jaeger ops Southeast? Again, would have been in the 90s, because I think he started tactical response in like 98, 99. Like, he taught the first class sometime in the late 90s. And I think he was working for ops before tactical response. I could have that wrong, but that's from what I understand. It's probably in James's bio, in all honesty, if that's still on the website. We can figure that out. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. At least we used to have his resume on there. Info about us. Yeah. What about? Control F. Control F isn't working. Why are you doing this to me, Firefox? Anyway, let me pull these chats back up. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Uh-oh. Am I wrong, Dylan? Is that what that emoji is about? Am I wrong about something, as usual? It doesn't have the dates on there, though. Yeah. Anyway, went nowhere for that. Firefox? No, dude, not way gay. And I refuse to take technology advice from you. I did text about the 4 rules thing. You did text about it? Like, sent me a text? Where'd my phone go? Doesn't matter. Whoa. Project 1868, 250. I don't know what that means. Fair. Yeah. Way fair. Way fair. I've seen you get too mad at touchscreen kiosks. Is it common to get slight hearing loss if you shoot often, even after wearing ear pro? Yeah, send the controversial take. Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I have uh, less than 10 times accidentally shot a gun without my ear pro on. And I have tinnitus, So public touchscreens are nasty. I'm not arguing that. Just saying. I've seen Lewis get too angry at them, and not because they were gross. Over ear pro, and I have horrible tinnitus. Yeah, so the muffs. Yep. Same. I don't mess with the plugs. It's all ear muffs, and it happens. It is unfortunately part of it. Rifle will disturb the seal on ear pro. Yeah, I said less than 10 times intentionally. There have been times where I've been running rifle drills and the ear pro like kind of slides away a little bit, and I have continued to shoot from there. So never mind. I can't. Never mind. No hearing loss, but yes on tinnitus. Though I did a hearing test like 15 years ago, so I would have been about 20-ish, early 20s. How old am I? Yeah, I would have been early 20s, and I had like 40-year-old hearing. I chalk it up to listening to metal music. Slight hearing loss is well worth it. Hey, it's about the memories you make along the way. Is that why you almost wore your ear pro to to Cracker Barrel? Yep. Double up for best protection. Here's the take. We call tactical response TR now because Clint isn't at Thunder Ranch anymore. Yeah, okay. That is a take. That is a take. But TR wasn't because Clint was there. It's because Thunder Ranch was being called TR first, right? They were around before us, and so they kind of get to claim the TR. Mm-hmm. You might be onto something talking to Dylan, but can't discuss on internet. Uh-oh. See? And this is why I don't have you on the live stream, right? You have your bourbon in you, you would have absolutely talked about it. Let's see, where was I at? Between shooting, my job, my hobbies, and liking loud music, I'm really starting to notice hearing loss. Yeah, I can remember being in high school talking to a teacher or something like that, and he was talking about how his wife has to turn the music up so loud because she has always listened to loud music, yada yada yada, and just being like, oh, that's not going to happen to me, kind of thing, or just not even thinking about it anymore. And now I have found that, like, where I think I'm listening to music in the car at like a comfortable level, like this is with other people in the car, so I'm not trying to scare them away or anything like that. I'll think it's at a nice, mellow, like chill level, and Heather's just like, this is so loud. Let's see. AKs won't disturb ear pro. I refuse to go to the ear doc about hearing loss. Don't need a doc to tell me my ears are going E and I can't hear stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's not much that you can do about that. The hearing loss stuff. I mean, once it's happened, it's happened. So just ride it out. Right. I know what not to say still. Yeah. Not everyone knows abbreviations say tactical response. Yeah. That's another fair point, right? Get our full name out there. Boom. Lewis. Oh yeah. So Josh has got that sort for you. Adam swap it to live chat because it was doing the same thing to me. Apparently, there's all messages are visible. It's such as potential spam may not be visible when you're in the top chat mode. Crazy. When I was a kid, movies in the theater were always loud. I thought this was only an illusion from hearing loss due to age. I saw Hard Boiled Monday Night, and it was loud as shit. Yeah. Uh-oh. I clicked a button, and then it buffered. Get the good weather guarantee for fighting rifle in February. chat ate one of your comments. I wish I could give you the good weather guarantee. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you the good weather guarantee. But if the weather is shit, it's because Heather changed her mind. And she brought the bad weather in. When is that rifle class? 21st, 22nd? Yeah. Dude, you're set, man. That's going to be so chill, so easy. It's going to be perfect weather. No clouds. I take that back. Perfect cloud cover. Good temperature. Yeah, we're locked in. All of Lewis's comments are being held for review. It's because they know. It's because they know. Andy's protege at Surefire has a vid on Surefire's YouTube that mentions mindset, tactics, skill, and gear. Yeah, so I don't know if maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'm sure it's fine, but Surefire is bringing back they're doing some style of classes, and they're wanting to get some information out there and stuff like that. So that was actually why Andy called me that day, was wanted me to watch the video and stuff like that. He seemed like a really good dude. He's great. I've met him twice now. Yeah, he's very chill, very cool. He gets it. I mean, he's working under Andy, so like he definitely gets it. He's in that camp of similar to he, like Andy said, they do the skill-based stuff, and everything. So the dude can shoot, but he understands like the gunfighting aspect of things as well. Looked at Surefire's training site, and it looks like mostly LEO classes, sadly. Bummer. That is a bummer. Andy didn't mention that or anything. So, hey, there's a question for Andy. Hey, why is Surefire stuff LEO only? I don't know why I did that. It's empty. It's because I have ADD and I have to do something with my hand when there's a lull. Maybe they'll do an open enrollment. Yeah, I'll ask him. I'll be like, hey, Andy, I'm not LEO and I want to train with you guys. I got some buddies. They need your knowledge. Nice. Excellent. If it's raining, we're training, dude. Yeah. Short of lightning strikes like in the area or tornadoes, man, we're out there. Yeah. I had a rifle class with one dude in it not too long ago, and we had some awful weather. And it just me and him out there rocking the team drills. Change your name to to Leo and try to sign up. Absolutely. Shipley. Can't take those classes because I'm a Pisces. Deputize, dude. Yeah, make it happen. You can get ordained online, so why not? Why can't I get deputized online? See, got to do something with my hands when there's a lull. Make me talk about something, guys. I don't really have anything. Let's see. Talked about the hoodies. Talked about the shit weather around here. Lewis, because you'll remember and I won't. Actually, I need to talk to Lewis about some classes too. So shoot me a text, so I won't forget. The Surefire Institute is for trainer development. Train the trainer type class. Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm one of those guys. I was watching some old vids on Liber TV. I think I was going through those hard drives, and I think I'm going to keep, I think I'm going to start trying to re-upload some of those YouTube videos and stuff like that. Have you seen any Ruger RXMs come through class? Not that I'm aware of. It's actually been a long time since anything other than like a Glock or a SIG or something like that. It's been a little while. I say a long time. It's, the last few pistol classes have been just the standards pretty much. No one showed up with anything weird. Have you tried press checking to help with keeping your hands busy? Dude, I'm about to have to start something. Still cold from the Farnham class I took there in February a few years back. Rethinking your life choices. It's a roll of the dice, man. When it comes to those February classes, it can be that what you dealt with, or it can be perfect. So, am I going to NRA? Absolutely, absolutely. Barring anything crazy happening, we will absolutely be there. It's so much easier to go to NRA, and it's easier to get content there versus SHOT Show and stuff like that. So it's more laid back. So very, very excited to go to that. Really want to make a master index of those videos. Yes. Well, oh yeah, and you mentioned that you had to tell me something about and working on the outline that you got. Survived fighting pistol next to a 320, dude. If we had patches or challenge coins, that's one that we should have. James had an old video on the old channel on the spare parts for Glocks that you should change out. Any chance that can be reposted? Yeah, if I can find it, I'll go ahead and add that to my Andy's questions list as well, even though it's not a question for Andy. Change out Glock parts video. Okay. I'm going to read that tomorrow and be like, what the hell was I talking about? The hand, yes, yeah, I found another one that was from 2009, because the one you have is like 2005 or something like that, right? The Tactilode, is doing fine. I haven't had any issues out of it, but I haven't run it in a while either. So, I really enjoyed it. We did have to fix it up a little bit after I was, I was doing that one-handed drill, trying to see what that was like loading from there for the Morales drill. And from me slamming it on the ground to eject the round out, it it got a little wobbly, got a little loosey-goosey. So we had to fix that. But other than that, if you're not going to be slamming it on the ground, I haven't had any issues out of it. Come early and stay at my place on the way to NRA. Yeah. Let me make sure that I'm not like teaching a class and then immediately turning around and leaving. I don't think I am. Absolutely not. That week is wide open. Yeah, I'll come down early. Come down early. It starts on that Friday. I'll leave Wednesday, crash at your place Wednesday night, hang out Thursday, drive to Houston Thursday evening, get checked into the hotel. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Josh is he's asking about the Tactilode because he wants to play with one. I know that we still had some lying around. Let me see if I can find them. I'll let you guys know. We might be able to figure something out. When Glocks wear out, buy another Glock. Yep. Might still be on the other Tactical Response YouTube. I tried searching. It might still be on there. I forgot that we do actually still have that other channel. So there's Dylan. If you guys have any old class handouts, Cadass is in here. He's probably got 6 or 7. Get in touch. And the reason why he's bringing that up is because so there's Tom. He's going back to 2015 as we were talking about like the progression of tactics and stuff like that, as even just like within tactical response. And so I found an outline from like 2003 or was it 2005, something like that. That's the earliest one that I could find on the computer. And it has like James is like doing Sewell, and he teaches Sewell and things like that, right? So not the old Tactical Response YouTube channel, that's not up. James had made like another like backup or something like that. But it did have a bunch of videos on it still too. So maybe it is the old one. I don't know. But yeah, something like that. Might be working on a handout for Fighting Revolver. Don't quote you on that. Yeah, let's get in touch, man. If you need to change the scenery, like say a 3-day road trip, come back to Kuna, Idaho. We need more training. I just sent an email, or Victor sent an email, and I was typing one up. I think it might be a draft, actually. I meant to email him back today. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to try to get the Kuna, Idaho stuff worked out. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely want to come back out there for sure. Yeah, I never got it sent. So, yeah, we're going to try to make that work at the end of this year. Because I know we're going out to Oklahoma in September, so I'm going to try to just go ahead and make that loop. Yeah, right there. Boom, Eastern in September. So we're going to try to turn that into a loop. We'll hit Oklahoma up, and then we're going to do try to do Kuna, maybe do Arizona, since we'll be coming back out there, since we'll be going out west anyway. That was the backup from the unbanned James Yeager. Okay, there we go. Hit up Jerry Z at Hilltop. There you go. Got something for you there. Contact info for dude might work too. I have all my handouts. Yep. Any progress? Yeah, if they're not live, it's again an issue on the website side. So let me make a note of that as well, because I know I went through and posted them. So let me make a note of that as well. See, this is what the live streams are really about. It's just about making sure I get you guys taken care of. Have the current fighting pistol 2012 and one from 2005. Also have rifle, medical, and the fight. What's up, Garrett? Dude, what is going on? You're asked about them every couple days. All right, I will have them. I've got your number and stuff. I'll have them up and running tomorrow morning for sure. Maybe even tonight. Depends on how quickly I go to sleep when I get home. But yeah, I'll have them upload it for sure tomorrow. I'll have them fixed. I'll test them, all that good stuff. And that way you can start spreading the good word up there. D-Walt's interested in that handout for a revolver. Maybe you guys need to collaborate and listen. Josh is the only dude to have successfully completed a certain Sunny drill with a revolver. Some bragging rights. You scanned them into a PDF. That's the way to do it, man. That's the absolute way to do it. Here's some info I picked up on about the handouts. Nothing there. An alumnus was involved in a shooting and the prosecution used fighting pistol handout against him because of the language. That language is not in the 2012 book. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'd really like to, because I don't know anything about that, so I'd like to hear the full story there. Later, folks. Time to get the kids to bed. Yeah, man, we'll see you, dude. I'm about to be right behind you. Yeah, guys. So what's that put us at? We got about 3 minutes here. Text you the deets. Perfect. I appreciate it, man. So thanks for tuning in. Lewis, next week, let's try to actually plan a co-stream. Let me make sure I don't have anything crazy going on. If you're available, that is. No. Dude, too much stuff on a calendar. Oh, that's because that's February. Oh, I do need to be in February. 4th? No. Yeah. So let's plan on next week. We'll jump on the live stream together. But only after you respond to what I text. Please come out to Arizona. Dude, I'm thinking about it. We'll see how it goes. I still haven't heard from our host out there. I have a face and a camera. That's 2 out of 3 right there. Double up on the bourbon. Yeah, but so I still haven't heard back from our host out there in Arizona. So Enrique, if you have somewhere or someone who would be interested in being a host and being a liaison between us and our range, hit me up. Let me know. My phone number is all over the website, or you can message me or email info@tacticalresponse.com. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Let's make a plan to meet back up here same time next week. All that good stuff. Remember, let me get out of here before I trip over in a hurry. Remember, this is the way. This is the way. This is the way. Pushing buttons.